everyone, this is Sarah and welcome to my crochet channel. Today's video I'm going to be showing you how to crochet a maple leaf that's perfect for fall, and you can use it as a doily or as a washcloth depending on which yarn you choose to make it out of. Now this is a free crochet pattern on my blog, and you can find that blog link down in the notes underneath this video. Now each of the leaves measure approximately 9 by 9. And so what you're going to need to make one is to decide if you want to use worsted weight number 4, which is a medium weight yarn, or if you want to use cotton. If you're going to use this as a decorative doily or just for decoration, acrylic yarn is just fine. But if you want to use it as a washcloth, I do recommend that you use a cotton yarn. We're going to be stitching today with our H hook, and the H hook is a 5.00 millimeter crochet hook. You're going to need a needle to weave in your ends, and of course you'll need a pair of scissors. I'm going to be using this gold yarn, which is just a Red Heart Super Saver acrylic yarn, and we're going to begin with our slip knot, and then we're going to chain 5. We're going to join this chain 5 into a circle. So we'll take the tail of our yarn, put it over our hook, and pull it through that loop. And snug that down. And then we'll tie that little stay knot to keep our chain from coming undone, or our circle from coming undone. All right, now we're going to put our hook through. We're going to pull up a loop and chain 3, and this chain 3 counts as our first double crochet. We're going to stitch 9 more double crochets so that we have a total of 10. Yarn over, go in the chain 5, loop and pull up a loop, yarn over, go through the first 2, yarn over, and go through the second 2. So that means I have my chain 3, which is 1 double crochet, and then my next double crochet. So I'm going to need to stitch 8 more double crochets in this chain 5 loop. If you'll notice, I'm stitching over that tail of yarn, and that's so I can pull the hole closed when I'm all finished stitching my 10 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 10 double crochets. I'm going to join to the top of that chain 3 with a slip stitch and chain 3. Now what I was talking about is if you turn this over and you gently pull on that tail, that hole will close right up, and then we can just weave that in later. And this is the way that row 1 should look. 10 double crochets, join to the chain 3 with a slip stitch and chain 3. For row 2, our chain 3 counts as our first double crochet. We're going to double crochet in the same stitch as that chain 3. And then we're going to stitch 2 double crochets in each of the double crochets around, stitching 2 double crochets in each of the double crochets around, and this is going to give us 20 double crochets for row 2. I've completed those 20 double crochets for row 2. I'm going to join to the top of the chain 3 with a slip stitch and chain 3. Now, for row 3, we're going to be starting to form the points of the leaf. So we're going to stitch a double crochet in the same stitch as our chain 3. We're going to chain 2 and then stitch 2 more double crochets in that same stitch. We're going to chain 2, and then we're going to skip 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. And then in the fourth one, we're going to stitch 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 double crochets. Two double crochets, chain 2, and 2 double crochets all in that same stitch. Then we'll chain 2, and then we'll repeat what we just did. We'll skip the next 3, 1, 2, 3, and then in the next one we'll stitch 2 double crochets. There we go. Chain 2 and 2 double crochets. And chain 2. And now we'll repeat that again. 1, 2, 3. Here's the fourth one. We'll stitch those 2 double crochets. Chain 2 and 2 double crochets. And chain 2. All right, now we'll do the same thing. 1, 2, 3. Here's the fourth one. 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 double crochets. Whoops. There we go. And chain 2. And now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups of 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochets, chain 2. We're going to join to the top of that chain 3 with a slip stitch. And that's the way that row 3 should look. All right, we're ready for row 4. We're going to slip stitch in this next double crochet and then slip stitch in the chain 2 space. We're going to chain 3, and then we're going to repeat what we did on this first corner. Chain 3 counts as our first double crochet. We're going to double crochet, chain 2, and then 2 double crochets. All right, so the corners are going to all be the same. Where it's going to be different is in between the corners. So we're going to chain 2. We're going to stitch a single crochet in that chain 2 space, and then chain 2. Then we'll stitch the corner the same as we did this corner. 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 double crochets. Chain 2, single crochet in that chain 2 space, and chain 2. And then we'll repeat this on these next 3 corners. There's the corner, chain 2, single crochet in the chain 2 space, and chain 2. So there's that third corner. And then we'll repeat this on these last 2 corners. I've completed my 5 corners. I joined to the top of the chain 3 after that last chain 2. And then we're going to slip stitch in the next double crochet and chain 3. Now we're going to place 2 double crochets in the corner, chain 2, then we'll stitch 2 double crochets in the corner, and then we're going to stitch a double crochet in this first double crochet. And you'll see that instead of having 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet, we have 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 double crochets. We're going to chain 3. We're going to single crochet in the single crochet, chain 3, and then we'll repeat what we did here. We're going to double crochet in the second double crochet, 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets in the corner, we're going to double crochet in the first double crochet, chain 3, single crochet in that single crochet, and chain 3. And that's the way you'll do these next 3 corners like we did that one. Let's do another one together. We're going to double crochet in the second double crochet. We're going to do the corner the same with 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 double crochets. And we're going to double crochet at the top of this first double crochet, chain 3, single crochet in the single crochet, and chain 3. And then you'll repeat that on these last 2 corners. I've completed my 5 corners. Here's my last single crochet, chain 3. I'm going to join with a slip stitch to the chain 3, and then I'm going to slip stitch in the next double crochet and chain 3. Now we're going to double crochet in the next double crochet, and then in this chain 2 space we're going to stitch 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets, then we're going to double crochet in these next 2 double crochets. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 double crochets in our corner. We're going to chain 4. We're going to single crochet in that single crochet and chain 4. All right, this brings us to our next corner. We're going to skip that first double crochet and double crochet in the second double crochet. Then we'll double crochet in the next double crochet. Then we'll place the corner the same, 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets. Then we'll stitch a double crochet in the next 2 double crochets. 1 and 2. Chain 4. Single crochet in the single crochet and chain 4. We're going to double crochet in the second double crochet and then the next double crochet. We're going to stitch 2 double crochets, chain 2 and 2 double crochets in the corner. Then we'll stitch a double crochet in these next 2 double crochets. Chain 4, single crochet in the single crochet, and chain 4. And of course we'll repeat that on these last 2 corners as well. I've completed row 6, and now we're going to do the last row, and this is where we get the shape for the maple leaf. Alright, so I'm going to join to the top of my chain 3 with a slip stitch, and then I'm just going to slip stitch to the chain 2 space. So I'm placing a slip stitch in the top of these 3 double crochets, and now I'm in the chain 2 space. Alright, and I'm going to stitch 2 single crochets. I'm going to chain 3, then I'm going to slip stitch at the top of that last stitch, and then stitch 2 more single crochets. And what that did right there is it made a 2 single crochets, a picot stitch or picot, either way is correct to say that, and 2 single crochets. Now I'm going to single crochet in the next 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to chain 5. I'm going to single crochet in the single crochet, and I'm going to chain 5. So this first one we did single crochets. Now I'm going to be stitching back to double crochets. So we're going to skip the first double crochet, and we'll double crochet in the next 3. 1, 2, 3. We're going to place 2 double crochets. 1, 2, and then we're going to make that picot stitch again. 1, 2, 3, slip stitch in the top of the last stitch, and then we'll stitch 2 more double crochets. Then we'll stitch 1 double crochet in the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3. And see how that looks? There's our little peacock. We're going to chain 5. We're going to single crochet in the single crochet and chain 5. So our first end, or first corner, we did single crochets. In our second corner, we did double. Now in our third corner, we're going to be doing triple crochet stitches. So we're going to do 2 wraps on our hook. We're going to skip the first double crochet and go in the second double crochet. Pull up a loop, yarn over, go through the first 2, yarn over, go through the second 2, yarn over, and go through those last 2 loops. And for this corner, all of our stitches are going to be triple crochet stitches, except of course the peacock. So we'll stitch triple crochet stitches in these 3 double crochets. We're going to stitch 2 triple stitches in the chain 2 space. There's 1. There's 2. We're going to chain 3, slip stitch in the top of that triple stitch. Then we'll stitch 2 more triple crochets. 1 and 2, and that, oops, there we go. Triples. Then we're going to stitch a triple in the next 3 stitches. There we go. So we went from singles to doubles here to triple stitches here. Now we're going to chain 5, single crochet in the single crochet, and chain 5. And now we're going to go back to doing the double crochet stitches. Skip the first one and double crochet in the next. And we'll do this for these 3 stitches, 3 double crochets. Then we'll stitch 2 double crochets, picot stitch or peacock, however you want to say that. 2 double crochet stitches, and then 1 double crochet in the next 3. So I think you're starting to see how the shape of the leaf works. Single, double, triples. Now we're back to doubles. Chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Single crochet in the single crochet. And chain 5. Now, on this last corner, we're back to singles. So we're going to skip the first double crochet and stitch a single in the second, and then the next 2. We'll stitch 2 single crochets, that peacock stitch, and 2 single crochets, 1 and 2, and then we'll stitch a single crochet, 1, 2, 3 in those 3 stitches. All right, so this brings us down to where we're going to form the stem. We're going to chain 5. We'll join to our single crochet just like we usually do. Only now we're going to chain 8. We're going to turn and place a single crochet in the second chain from the hook, and then we'll single crochet in each of the chains across. Then when we get back up here, we'll single crochet right in that single crochet stitch and chain 5. We'll skip the next stitch and put a single crochet right in that next stitch, and we'll single crochet in the next 2 and join to the first single crochet with a slip stitch. There we go. We will cut our yarn, tie off, and bring that to the back, of course, and weave that in with our needle. So here is our finished maple leaf. They're fun to use for decorations, as doilies or as washcloths, and you can see you can make them in variegated and different shades of fall for beautiful decorations.